Time. Ladies and gentlemen, we begin this year's Grand March. Miss Casey Coyle and her escort, Nick Fleshman. Miss Allison Knoll and her escort, Greg Simpson.
Oh, it's a beautiful thing. Oh, think I can keep it all in. If you ask me why I changed, all I gotta do is say your sweet name. It's your love. It just does something to me.
Christina and Jonathan Hibbs.
I can't get enough.
And her escort, Matt Davison. Miss Karina Dirks and her escort, Jason Ross.
It's your love. Does something to me. It sends a shock right through me. I can't get enough.
Miss Stephanie Henderson and her escort, Nathan Snyder. Ellen Cobb and her escort, James Ewens. Miss Ashley Hart and her escort, Bobby Irving. Miss Sandy Beck and her escort, Adam Sharon. Miss Katie Simpson and her escort, Jared Alberts. Miss Sarah Rowland and her escort, Jason Hubrick. Miss Sonia Zeitler and her escort, Josh Crowell. Miss Heather Leffler and her escort Sean LaSalle.
When you smile, the sky turns from gray to blue, and that's what you do.
Miss Laura Verderber and her escort Drew Vaughn. Miss Jen Holford and her escort Aaron Kodak. Miss Emily Schneider and her escort Danny Pumphrey. Miss Ashley Stephens and her escort Darren Vineyard. Miss Megan Sullivan and her escort Jeremy Westbecker. Miss Angie Ridgway and her escort HTFA Stephen Sitton. Miss Sarah Boyd and her escort Ernie Petro. Miss Becca Dykstra and her escort Shane Gutman. Miss Brianna Dennis and her escort Jeremy Sinnott. Miss Amy Springer and her escort Reed Conklin. Miss Whitney O'Donoghue and her escort Jason Fulmer. Miss Megan Chapman and her escort Bo Wright. Miss Audrey Beach and her escort Bo Hanger. Robert Perry.
If I can see you again.
Miss Mary Wells and her escort Luke Boyd.
Latrice. Okay.
Miss Latrice Wilson and her escort Sean Thompson. Miss Carrie McFadden and her escort Jared Cooper.
Thank you.
Miss Brittany Ingram and her escort Clay Leisman. Miss Mindy Crawford and her escort Jason Melton. Miss Allison Ray and her escort Jordan Schmidt. Miss Missy Aper and her escort Bo Anderson. Miss Robin Hashman and her escort Dwayne Alley. Miss Kelsey Riggs and her escort Dylan Sherrill.
Thank you.
Miss Megan Prather and her escort Dustin Knolenberg. Miss Amanda Davenport and her escort Chris Lynch. Miss Amber Dice and her escort Thomas Elliott. Miss Holly Spickard and her escort Scott Nelson. Miss Sammy Helton and her escort Jake Newman. Miss Amy Holmes and her escort, Angel Quiles. Miss Stephanie Humble and her escort, Chris Gossett. Miss Holly Swinda and her escort, Kendrick Brooks. Miss Donnell White and her escort, Casey O'Donohue.
Now let's start.
Miss Lydia Mooring and her escort, Chris Allen. Miss Corinne O'Donohue and her escort, Caleb Jurgens.
Thank you, Mr. Ryan. Oh, jeez.
Miss Brooklyn Robbins and her escort, Adam Ramlow. Miss Amber Wilson and her escort, Robert Babbs. Miss Allison Smith and her escort, Jay Lee. Miss Gina Reed and her escort, Anthony Ivy. Miss Kelsey Washam and her escort, Matthew Jackson.